Okay, so look at the S&P here on the daily chart, and I have these two lines here. This line is the distance between the high and the low point of the first rally. I have found where the correction was, the retracement of this rally to this level, and I drew a duplicate line to show you the measured move distance of the next leg up. And as you can see, we are fairly close to that, maximum potential upside of this next leg. This is equal to this leg, so do understand that this is a way to play a long position, just whether it's on the daily time frame, weekly, intra-time. So it's a valid price target range that you can set when you see prices having the potential for more upside after a retracement. So I did say in yesterday's video that we still had the possible chance to move slightly higher, and that we were looking at more like 10 to 30 points. Prices are at as high as 13.96, 13, and a lot of times what you see is when there's very little selling throughout the day, like here where prices close at the high, there's usually a follow-through to that the following day, and it's likely that we may get just a slight bit of upside, but more or less prices are going to take a breather for a day or two until they are ready to go slightly higher or before they give way. Now the volume on this candlestick today, I don't have it here, I can show you on the mini later, but it was strong volume. And going back to this previous rally, this was the peak of this rally that you see here. And we often call these kinds of tops a blow-off top. After prices are fairly extended, coming off of major divergence, you have, the measured move coming in, and you have a strong volume upside day. So I'm saying that we're in the target range for a top, and if prices want to go slightly higher, maybe to that 1400 level I was talking about, that psychological level, then it's very well possible they may do so. But do keep in mind that this was the target range that I had suggested for in the days to come, and from today we almost maximized our upside potential in just one trading session. So let's pay attention to how prices react if they try to slightly go a little higher, because it's very likely that the top is either in or we've got a few more days before it's in. So I do remember saying to you guys on Friday that this whole week is options expiration, and usually the specialists try to shoot prices up, and that this week is more so a more controlled week in terms of price action. So, and we were looking at silver. This is more, to me now, it looks like a head and shoulders topping pattern, with this possibly being the right shoulder. I drew this neckline that you see here. So if prices break this neckline, and I'm really watching this area to confirm exactly this neckline, because it just, to me now, it looks more like a head and shoulders topping pattern as opposed to a blow-off top. And by the way, I did post the blow-off type of topping pattern, and it's on the chart patterns that you see. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's there. So again, if we break this neckline, I'll be looking for the next support level coming in at this area you see me circling. So let's keep in mind just of this overall pattern, and I'll be looking for the neckline, and that on SLV comes in right around the well, really you'd look for a break below this low, and that comes in at 31.54. And here is the dollar futures chart, and this time I'm using $DXY. There's really not much of a difference between that and /DX, but this overall basing pattern to me looks like a head and shoulders bottoming pattern, and we have the left shoulder here, the head, which is lower, we have the right shoulder, and the neckline I drew here, and you can see how prices broke, and now they've back tested this trend line. So overall, this is a very bullish type of basing pattern, and the dollar is so far very bullish looking. And For the short term, though, we are coming in at this cluster zone, so we'll have to see whether they can break above this level, or they may take a breather in this small consolidation zone. So again, from last week, I was mentioning to you how prices react when they come into a previous resistance zone, and again, you're seeing how this type of pattern is chewing through each time, and they are holding up, showing that buyers are stepping in each pullback. Now, here is the VIX, and this is the daily chart. You can see I have a trend line drawn showing you previous points of support. At this point it was resistance. You can see by the long upward tail. Prices did eventually break above it, but their first reaction to it, you can clearly see it held. So with that said, it does look like it's possible the VIX may move lower, and if they do, I'd be looking at this trend line and also the potential 1400 on the S&P, maybe, you know, like higher than that. But I do want to also point out that, you know, we're at extreme lows on the VIX, suggesting that almost every buyer out there feels confident. You know, everyone feels good again to buy more stocks, and it's usually at that time that a top is in. So you throw that in with the fact that we're at lows that we haven't seen since late '06. I think that we're looking at a much larger top, and you know, it may be months or a long time before we can see any kind of move back up to the expected high that we're looking for in the coming days. So whatever it is, whether we go to 1400, maybe we go slightly higher, maybe we give back soon, however soon we do, I think that once we can really generate some lower lows on these hourly charts, break below the previous sell-off that we had, then we can go ahead and mark the top in the market, and it would also coincide with marking the bottom in the VIX. And that won't get confirmation until we can break above this base that we had. When we broke it, we clearly broke this support, so we would need to look at it again, how prices react when they come back up to test the new level of resistance. But the confirmation of the lower highs and lower lows would need to get the VIX back above the 21 levels. So that's something I'll be looking for. Okay, and also have a good night.